Hello, Leiden, and welcome to September. We've officially completed the first 3 weeks of the school year. That sounds crazy to say out loud. Today, I want to talk a little bit about school reopening metrics, activities and clubs, parent-teacher conferences, and evaluations. Before I do that, I would be remiss if I didn't offer up a few thank yous. Thank you to the hundreds of you who are physically here at work every day, working to support our kids and our community during these unique circumstances. We appreciate you. Thank you to our teachers and support staff that are creating high-quality remote learning experiences for our students. We've been encouraged by high levels of attendance and engagement every day, and that's because you're building relationships with our kids and making their time worthwhile. Thank you to our deans, our security staff, our counselors and social workers who are conducting home visits, making calls, and reaching out to parents to find our missing kids and our unengaged kids. We're here for all of our kids, and all means all. I appreciate what you're doing, and you're doing this in order to get our kids in front of our teachers, which is what we need every day. Thank you to our food services and transportation staff who have been steadfast every day since March. Just yesterday, we received good news from the federal government that reinstated our summer food protocols that will allow us to feed anyone who needs meals. Our usage has dropped off since school started, and we're hopeful that this new announcement will make it easier for people to get the meals that they need. This list can go on and on, thanking our maintenance and staff for keeping up with all the new cleaning protocols, thanking our staff members who are supervising students coming into Leiden every day for a safe, quiet place to work, thanking our building and district administrators for their constant problem solving and creativity. In all the conversations I've had over the last few weeks, I keep hearing that things are going really well, but that this remote learning is exhausting. We get it. It's like being a first-year teacher all over again, a first-year aide, a first-year anything for all of us. Whatever part you're playing right now for our kids, thank you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about thought processes related to reopening the buildings at our 25 or 50% hybrid models and eventually getting back to some version of normal school. There are no magic metrics that tell us whether or not we can open. I'm asked almost daily where the numbers need to be for us to get kids back in the building. The honest answer is that the numbers allow for that now. In fact, Rosemont Elementary is in school 100% 5 days a week. Franklin Park Elementary is running a hybrid model right now. The decision to be currently remote is a local decision that we made based on the volume of our students and the unique realities of our schools. Some districts set tentative return dates in September or October, but we did not do that. Instead, I said that I would reevaluate our numbers on the 1st and 15th of each month to see where we are. That doesn't mean I'll make big announcements every time, but I will always give at least a week's notice if we're going to transition to our hybrid model. And we plan to use one of our remote planning days to give everyone some time and space to facilitate that transition. Every day, 7 days a week, I monitor the Illinois Department of Public Health website. I specifically look at 3 different pages. The first one I look at is the regional COVID-19 metrics. This shows the 11 statewide regions that comprise the Governor's Restore Illinois plan. Currently, Region 4 is and Region 7 are in mitigation, meaning they have extra requirements put on them. That's the St. Louis area and the Will County and Kankakee County areas. They're under stricter measures due to a sustained high positivity rate above 8%. We are in Region 10, and you can look at our metrics here where we track on those different areas. The second page I visit every day is the county level risk metrics. We're measured along with all of suburban Cook County, excluding the city of Chicago. The state tracks 8 different metrics and color codes each county as either blue, meaning on target, or orange, meaning warning. When 2 of the 8 metrics go to a warning status, the county is colored orange. That actually just happened to Cook County last week. So be mindful that this data is representative of the week of August 16th through the 22nd. So there is a bit of a lag, but you can see here where our county sits regarding new cases per 100,000, number of deaths, test positivity, tests performed, COVID-like illnesses and admissions, doctor visits, and availability of ICU beds and case clusters. The third, and this is a new page that the IDPH has put up, is called County and School Metrics. It boils it down to 4 categories, and I should say all of these are reported as a 7-day rolling average to account for any peaks or valleys that there may be in terms of data. So if you look at this, in Cook County, our test positivity currently sits at 6.8%. Our new cases per 100,000 sit at 112. And in terms of new cases and new cases for youths, those are both rated as minimal right now metrics. The interesting thing is to look at how this compares to over time. And you can look at a time series of this. But I went back to August 1st, so a month ago. At that point, our positivity rate was 5.4, and we're now showing 6.8. On August 1st, our new cases per 100,000 were 67, and this is now at 112. What this tells me is that our local situation has not improved since we made the decision to begin with remote learning. So, as I think you could all guess, we're going to be continuing in our current model for now. As I said earlier, I'll be watching this daily and communicating transparently when we start trending in a better direction. When we started this year, we wanted to focus on the academic model, our outreach and engagement. And now that we have our feet under us a little bit, we've been talking about starting up some level of clubs and activities. We know the importance of connections and relationships and identity that come along with these opportunities for kids. So within the next week or so, you'll be getting more information from the building principals and the activity directors about our plans and how this might work. We know that some of you might be overwhelmed and unable to even think about running a particular club or an activity, and that's okay. We also know that some of these clubs and activities might not make sense right now in our current reality. So again, stay tuned for more information soon. Regarding athletics, we have a number of sports that are happening right now. As for the rest of our athletics programs, we're waiting on guidance and really a green light from the state as we hope to transition from the fall schedule into the winter schedule. In November, we are scheduled to start boys and girls basketball, boys swimming and diving, cheerleading, dance, wrestling, girls bowling, and girls gymnastics. There are a lot of raised eyebrows around the state and wonderings about some of the high contact sports in this collection. But we're hopeful that we can keep to this schedule and begin those seasons as scheduled. We will make decisions about those programs based on what is allowed by the Illinois High School Association, IHSA, and by the Illinois Department of Public Health, IDPH, when that time comes. Just yesterday, there was a joint statement released by the Illinois Federation of Teachers, the Illinois Education Administration, the Illinois Principals Association, and the Illinois Association of School Administrators regarding teacher evaluations. Noticeably, the Illinois State Board of Education was not part of that statement. There's some disagreement at the state level regarding how to handle evaluations this year. ISB views them as a legislatively required item and is telling us we should be conducting observations in Zoom classes and Google Meets. Organizationally, we aren't sure that's a great idea. We're planning to bring our district evaluation committee together this week to review this joint statement and create our plan. I'm also going to put a copy of this document attached to the email with this video. Finally, I'll end with a suggestion and some fun stuff. If you're a faculty member who hasn't been back in the building, I would highly recommend finding a day to come in and teach from Leiden. This isn't required, but I think it would be a good idea to spend some time here before we look to transition kids back in the building. We've spent a lot of thought and time and money putting risk mitigation processes and products in the buildings. There's nothing unsafe about the buildings as long as we're all mindful of social distancing and appropriate behaviors. Again, it's completely up to you at this point, just a thought and a recommendation from me. And I recently suggested that you share some of the great things happening with your kids on Twitter with our Leiden Pride hashtag. I'm here every day and I love seeing what's posted here. I'm just going to scroll down so you can see some of the examples of what's being shared. If you haven't checked it out, go to Twitter, search for Leiden Pride, and I guarantee it's going to bring a smile to your face, seeing all the great things that are happening, all the great information that's being shared. All right, Having said all that, keep up the great work, everyone. I hope September has great things in store for you and for your students. Please reach out if you need anything at all, and we'll keep you informed as we have more information to share. Take care, everyone.